Good Thursday morning, East Tennessee. My name is David Aldridge, Chief Meteorologist of Captain Accurate Weather, coming to you by way of the Captain Accurate Weather Command Center. You've made it to almost Friday. It's almost the weekend. It is Thursday. We have some fog issues in spots. I'm looking over my shoulder. It looks like we're down to about a mile or less in places like Wartburg, possibly Rockwood and Madisonville, so it may not be perfect. It may be fine where you are if you're in the Knoxville area, but let me show you what we're seeing on the map, because we have 10 miles there planted over Knoxville. That would be representative of Tyson, but it is poor, or dropped down to about a mile in Jonesville. We can assume there's some fog in the Hancock County or even Claiborne County area as well. Jacksboro down to 3 miles, and it's very dense in White. If you travel north into Kentucky on I-75, I'm sure you're going to encounter some patches of fog. So just be extra careful this morning. Low beams will help. We have very little wind, if any, so that's conducive. It's favorable for some fog to form perhaps in a neighborhood near you, and I'd love to get your comment or weather observation if you've been on the road. Maybe you're already at work this morning. It is 64 degrees in Knoxville, 63 currently in Morristown. Our temperature in Crossville coming in at 59 degrees, one of the cooler spots, as I see Jonesville's in the upper 50s, and 61 in Scott County in Oneida here on a Thursday morning. Those are the current temperatures. Dew points are still probably a little bit higher than they've been in the last couple of weeks. If you remember, a couple of weeks ago, we had dew points in the 40s, which was really a signature of autumn. A real signature of fall, but dew points are in the low to mid 60s now, and that's what's going to be consistent through the course of today. So humidity will be pretty constant, or consistent, let's say, and we'll look at the humidity tracker in a few moments. As far as the clouds, I have a few of those. I'm expecting hazy sun, scattered clouds. The fog, of course, is low-level moisture, so you've got that to work through. And there are a few showers out and about. Looks like over back toward Greensboro, sliding across the Tar Heel State well to our east, but there could be a few spots of rain, maybe a stray shower, but I don't expect much. It's 20% chance or less for any rain today. So pick out your favorite town. Well, yesterday's high was in the low 80s. We had 82. I'm anticipating 86 today. So 86 degrees in Knoxville, that would put us 4 degrees warmer than where we were yesterday. If you're on the call, let me know. I'd love to say good morning to Steve Stone, always quick on the draw. He's on YouTube. How do you know he's on YouTube? Because he's got the little red icon at the bottom right. But that's Steve Stone's comment. He's got good morning in all caps with a smiley face and some sunshine. Love having Steve there. Fred is also here. He's got a weather report. Love it. He's in Maryville, reporting 63 degrees with a bright moon. Good morning to you, Fred. Glad to have you on the call as well. So if you're on the call, I'd love to say hi to you, give you some recognition as we go through the morning here. I'll be up on this live stream till about 7 o'clock just to give you an update. By the way, as I look at my notes, I mentioned it a moment ago, 82, 65, the high and low yesterday. We had a peak wind gust. You ready for this? I always find this funny. The peak, the strongest wind for the entire day, was 12 miles an hour. It wasn't very much, and we're not going to see much wind today either. I've got winds maybe in the afternoon picking up 5 to 10, but light and variable this morning. They'll be generally out of the north-northeast, 5 to 10 this afternoon. But interesting to note, 98, the record high today from 1925, long time ago. Obviously 86, a far cry from 98. And the record low this morning, 42 from 1901. If you're concerned about the rainfall, we've now picked up 0.81 inches. We are about 1.25 inches below normal for the month. But conversely, we're over 4 inches, he says, over 4 inches above normal for the year because of the very soggy month of May that we had. We'll look at that rainfall summer here in a moment. But if you're just joining me, look for a high of 86 today. I left a 20% chance for a few spots of rain, not much more than that. Morristown should be around 84. And my map did update. It was 68 yesterday. Tuesday, excuse me. I've lost track of time. 68 was the actual high on the 17th of September. Which is amazing because that's the coolest day since April 26th. You got to go back to April to find a day, and I think that day was 65. So to find a day in the 60s in technical summer, I know we're in meteorological fall, but of course we don't reach the autumnal equinox for a little while from now, a couple of days from now. But interesting to note that 82 was yesterday's high, and we had a couple of weekend days back on the 7th and 8th in the upper 70s. So we've had some delightful weather. We've had some warm weather. Last Saturday, for example, was 89. We're going to be transitioning to a warming trend in the coming days. Let me show you the radar. We got a little more of the butterfly effect here, a little bit of noise from the radar, but nothing to see really at this time. There were a few showers north of Kingsport when I did a recording last night, and maybe a few specks of rain trying to move into the eastern side of Cocke County, but pretty slim as far as rain in the last 24 hours. If you are hungry for lunch, got a great lunch idea for you, Marcos.com, a great place to go if you want some delivery. They've got locations in Hardin Valley and Farragut. They're located in Maryville, Fountain City, and Halls, and Oak Ridge, Middlebrook Pike, Ebenezer Road. If you're hungry for a magnificent pizza, may I suggest the Pepperoni Magnifico for less than $10. Check it out. They also have the Pizzoli, which is a great lunch item, less than $6. That's kind of cool. Pepperoni and sausage is my favorite, but you might be enamored with buffalo chicken. Oh yes, or maybe just the plain old pepperoni or chicken bacon ranch. They're all available at Marcos.com. Check them out, as they are a great sponsor for Captain Accurate Weather. More rain across parts of Raleigh and Fayetteville area, at least in central North Carolina. But nothing here. This little leftover remnant low, which was once in its heyday, was potential tropical cyclone number 8. But never got the full name of Helene. Didn't get the props, didn't get the recognition that maybe she was due. But either way, they did get a lot of rain in parts of eastern North Carolina from it. More rain this morning in Minnesota, a couple of showers off the coast of Massachusetts, and you can see there's quiet weather. It looks quiet across much of the Gulf of Mexico this morning. So that's the big map. I want to go back to your comments. If you have something new, I see Wanda Poe. She's on here. She says, "Good morning, David. With fall around the corner, it will be time for some pumpkin spice milk," she says, with cold days, hot chocolate. Come on, winter. She says, "I'm on Team Snow." We're going to talk about winter here at the end of this presentation in a way that you might not expect. But I do want to bring attention to Wanda. She's got a great note. And thank you for your smiling face there, Wanda. Always a pleasure to see you. I did get a chance to meet her back in the day, a couple months, actually more than a year now. But when I did my little spotlight in Newport, she was there to come out and greet me. It was always a pleasure to meet her. But as you look at September, it's trending dry, right? We're running right now, as I mentioned, 1.25 inches, 1.26 inches to be precise, below normal for the month thus far. Because we've had 0.81. I believe for the month, we're still 3.49 would be average. So if we're on track for a drier than normal month, it's only going to get exacerbated. It's going to get worse probably by October, because October usually struggles to get 3 inches of rain. It's typically that dry time of the year. By the way, it's 6:47. You talked about some spots of rain, David. Could you be more precise? Well, sure. If we get some rain, this model wants to put a few drops in La Follette. And if you don't get it in La Follette, don't be surprised. Sometimes this can be over-exaggerated, but at least this gives us some guidance. I didn't want to keep it completely dry. I'll voice the idea that this is a 20% chance or less, emphasis on less, that you should get rain today. But maybe if you're in Campbell County, because that says 0.02, that might be the epicenter of the rain that we get today. It's not going to be much. Most of us won't see it. But as I say, if you get it and you're hoping for it, consider yourself blessed or lucky. Either way, it's still a very limited amount of rain through the 5 o'clock time frame today. So the future rainfall, again, taking us through 11 o'clock tonight. Not much to see there. But there is something to see. Love your segue. Hey, the big game on ABC is this Saturday evening, 7:30 Eastern. It's 6:30 Central Time. I want to point this out because Oklahoma, Norman, it's going to be in the mid-90s. Mid-90s. Are you like 95? Yeah, 95-ish, 96-ish during the day. So if you're going there, you got a ticket. I'm jealous, but I'm thrilled that you're going to be there because we need the support. But the game itself isn't until 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern Time, and with a daytime high around 95, 96, they should be in the low 90s for kickoff. That's going to be tough. A lot of sweat. Sweat equity, I guess. You got to have to put out under the helmet for the Vols, and I'm sure they'll be prepared. But 88 at halftime, 84 at fourth quarter. So whether you're physically there or watching it on TV like me, many of us will be excited about the outcome. It's because we're excited for a win. We're number 6, they're number 15. This is, of course, being played on Saturday night. I'll update you accordingly. Partly cloudy with a brisk wind, 5 to 15 out of the southeast. Now, as far as the tropics are concerned, here at 6:49, I mentioned yesterday we have remnants of Gordon. I only point out this storm only because it could reemerge in the eyes of the Hurricane Center, because it kind of stopped dead in its tracks. Gordon just kind of stopped there. You could see the white broken line. That's where it was. It was moving along just fine, but then it kind of stalled. And then it just said, well, why are we even looking at it? Well, now there's a 40% chance, it's not like much, but a 40% chance in Orange in the middle of the Atlantic that Gordon could actually get a little bit stronger as he moves northward. No big deal. They've added another yellow patch to the west of that storm, 20% chance, and we got something around the Yucatan. 40% chance. I think the Gulf of Mexico still needs to be on high alert, even though it's now mid-September, 19th actually. There's still the potential for more wet weather across parts of the Gulf of Mexico. So Texas, Louisiana, for example, need to watch what could be Helene. Even though we didn't get Helene from PTC number 8, we could get Helene out of PTC number 9 if and when that storm or nomenclature is used. Isaac, Joyce, and Kirk would be the follow-up storms as we head into perhaps October. But tracking the clouds this morning, there's a few. We have more fog perhaps in some spots, but there are a few wispy clouds that are trying to move across the area. Let's get you out the door. 6:50, we've got a bus stop that might include some fog for you. You like the little effect there? Yeah, it looks foggy there. May not be that way for you in Knox County, but certainly maybe up toward Bell County, Campbell County, there are some foggy spots. 64 around 6, which is now. 71 around 10, but the pickup time between 2 and 3:30 should be around 83 to 86 degrees. That's my expectation, because high temperatures today will be about 4 degrees hotter or warmer than yesterday. So I left hazy sun, a few scattered clouds with some spots of rain. At least the potential may persist throughout the afternoon. But today, a high of 85 in La Follette, 84 Morristown, Talbot, White Pine, and Russellville. And if you're in Dandridge, about 86. Newport, Jefferson City, about 86, and 86 for Clinton and Oak Ridge. Now, this is kind of wild. What am I talking about? I left a few spots of rain there. But 7:22 is when the sun comes up. It goes down now at 7:36. Now, I know what you're thinking. I like to take walks with my dog. Why? What's happening? The days are getting shorter. They're only going to get shorter right through about Christmas, the winter solstice around the 21st of December. So yeah, the evening walks with the dog are getting tougher because it's getting darker a lot sooner. So you have to kind of plan accordingly now that the sun is down at 7:36. Couple of notes from you that might be coming in. Oh, I got Darcy Soar on the call. She says, good morning. Have an amazing day, and as to you as well. She's one of my premium members. Happy to have Darcy here. Danny says, go Vols. I know when I mentioned Oklahoma, he's all over that. Good morning, David. Sure hope you have a wonderful day. Go Vols. Happy to have him here as well. So again, we're looking at forecast today. It's going to be in the mid-80s, and we'll be getting even hotter in the days to come. I want to touch on smoke. I show this from time to time. The future smoke is vertically integrated, which is geek speak for through the entire column of air. It's not all at the surface. It's not like you're emerging out of a burning house where there's smoke all in your eyes and you can't see. This is through the entire column of air, and it's very light. So it's not like it's not present. There are wildfires that are near and far. I guess I could borrow the expression from Grover, from Sesame Street, near and far. Yeah, we got wildfires that are near and far away, and you can see through 5 o'clock today, it's a hint all across the state. Where it's moderate is yellow, looking at the Great Lakes, but there's still some smoke in the air, maybe a much better atmosphere in the Midwest, but until this thins out, that's what we have to work with. Temperature 64 in Knoxville. 62 in Johnson City, currently at 64 degrees in Chattanooga. Glad to have all of you on the call. And if you're traveling today, you'll notice that the temperatures are pretty consistent around neighboring states in the 60s. Dew points are in the 60s. We already covered that. And pretty much mid to upper 60s, maybe further east toward the Carolinas. Here's the humidity tracker. You can see that once we get above 65, that's the dew point, you're going to start to see more in the way of the green coloring. So by midday today, it's a bit stickier. Might thin out a bit by 5 o'clock, and then it really disappears tomorrow morning. So you have a less humid start to your Friday, but then it comes back Friday afternoon. So it's like it's a ping pong ball. It goes here, it goes out, comes in, goes out, but it does seem consistent across West Tennessee and maybe the Carolinas as a whole. But we'll deal with humidity. We will deal with more heat heading into the upcoming weekend. Speaking of headlines, look at this. Some spotty rain today, turning hotter this weekend. And as I mentioned in my video last night, the 90s are coming back. No, I don't mean video store rentals. I don't mean Beanie Babies, Furby, and Frosted Tips. Was that a thing? I guess Justin Timberlake would tell you if that. The 90s are coming back into the terms of temperature. I guess you could bring back the video rental store if that's your thing. But Saturday morning cartoons are not coming back in the old-fashioned way of the 80s and 90s. But I digress. Right now, we don't have a temperature reporting at the moment. For some reason, we got a 20% chance or less today of rain. No rain expected Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, but there is hope. There's some anticipation that we could get some spots of rain Monday, Tuesday. Probably the best chance in the next 7 days would be Wednesday. But the Valley Planner gives you some hope that we're going to be in the upper 70s by 12 noon today. 78 at 12 noon, so plan accordingly. It'll be a little warmer of a finish today versus yesterday, because we'll finish about 86 degrees this afternoon. Storm Prediction Center talking about some severe weather today. Not here, but you might have family that's in, I guess, the upper plain states. I'm looking at Minnesota, Minneapolis, Rochester, Minnesota, even places like Waterloo, Iowa, might have some scattered severe storms. Kansas City is in the crosshairs as well from the view, from the lens of the Storm Prediction Center. And our friends in Oklahoma City, for anyone that might be traveling out there today, maybe getting there on Thursday for a Saturday game, they'll have some isolated severe storms in dark green in Norman, Oklahoma. For us, they have put some thunder risks, general as that may be, just some general thunderstorms potentially developing in the Johnson City, Kingsport area. By Friday, there's some little patch of dark green that's, we'll say, areas around, say, Champaign or Illinois. I'm looking at maybe parts of Indiana. But these areas might have an isolated severe storm come on Friday, but no real concerns of rain here or even some thunder. It's pretty quiet. There's one little patch on Saturday that's out west. It's not Oklahoma City. No severe weather there expected, but you'll see that just around Amarillo, Texas, there's the chance for some isolated severe storms on Saturday. Well, it's pretty quiet here. I don't have any rain in our area, although they keep a little bit of a green coloring into Tri-City area, the Tri-Cities. But as far as the future cast is concerned, it's now 6:56. Going to wrap things up, but this is what I'm talking about. By midday today, if not this rain weather verifies, it could be what we call virga. It could evaporate before reaching the ground, or maybe that's what happens. Some of it does reach the ground, but most of it dries up. And so you get a lot of bit of over depiction on the modeling here. It's the lightest shade of green. A couple of showers certainly look like they're better pronounced in the Wrightsville Beach, Wilmington area, Jacksonville, North Carolina, by 5 o'clock today. But even by 5 o'clock, our chance of rain looks like it's diminished dramatically as high pressure begins to nose down from upstate New York and moves into Pennsylvania by tomorrow morning. Now, by Friday, if it does rain, it should be off to the far east. I'm looking back towards, say, Boone, back toward parts of western North Carolina, but not here. And then I think it's dry on Saturday. I think this front, this trough, should be far enough north that we don't have much to talk about because it's just getting hotter as we're under the warm front heading into both Saturday and Sunday. Sunday looks like we're in the lower 90s. So for today, as I'll check your comments here in the moment here, but 86 are my expectation. It's hazy sun, scattered clouds, some spots of rain potentially. I'd say 20% chance or less. Winds pick up this afternoon, 5 to 10 from the northeast. But today, high of 84 in Oneida, in Jamestown, our friends in Tellico Plains, Madisonville, Athens, 87, about 83 for Sevierville is what I expect. But if you're traveling west, it will naturally be a little warmer, if not hotter. I'm looking at Music City, 91 for Nashville, 92 for Bowling Green, and 89 for our friends in Memphis if you're headed that direction. Maybe you're headed driving to Oklahoma City or to Norman. 62, the low temperature tonight, mostly clear, but gradually the fog will likely form again tomorrow morning like it did this morning, and the winds should be light and variable, 0 to 5 miles per hour. If you like the upper 50s, do you have a good tomorrow morning for Crossville, Fairfield Glade, and Lake Tansy. 62 for low in La Follette, 59 Oneida, and 61 Morristown and White Pine first thing tomorrow morning. Here's your Captain Accurate Weather Authority forecast for Knoxville and East Tennessee. We got 86 for today, 89 on Friday. Now, some were not too thrilled to see 90s come back. If you are curious and playing the home game version, we've had 44 days of 90 plus this calendar year. And I thought, wait a minute, the normal is 34. That's right, 34 is normal, but we've already had 44. And we could tack on 3 more Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And if we squeezed out, miraculously, if we squeezed out an 89 to a 90 on Friday, well, that would be 4 more. And isn't that interesting? Because 4 is the average. We average 4 90-degree days in September based on history. So that would put us to 48 for the grand total. If 4 were achieved, maybe it's 47 if we only get to 3. But either way, it is the hand that's being dealt. We're going to deal with it. A couple of showers you can see may reappear in spotty form on Monday and Tuesday. But Wednesday, a few storms may also come back into play. I got a note from Carrie. She's on here. She says good morning. She's got her beautiful yellow rose. She says good morning, everyone. Have a fantabulous day. Love it. Thank you for that, Carrie. And our friend Ed has a good morning greeting for everybody with his smiling face. Great to see Ed here. He says have a great day. Glad to have Fred here as well. One thing that's interesting to note, if you are not carrying the Captain Accurate Weather app on your phone, What are you waiting for? You get all the National Weather Service alerts plus 3 extras that are world-class from Barron. Barron is all about critical weather intelligence. You get updated in real time. You don't have to wait on social media to inform you that you're under a certain alert or watch or warning. And it's free, and you get lightning alerts as well. So there's a lot of benefit. Plus, you get Pete Michaels traffic. I mean, it's local. When you've got weather and traffic perfect together, and it's free, that's certainly a deal I think everybody should take advantage of. One other thing you might want to consider is the premium service. A lot of you may not be aware, but we focus every day, virtually every day, beyond the next 7 days. We focus on weather that goes beyond the 7-day forecast. So if you're a planner, maybe you want to know what kind of winter we're going to have. Oh, maybe you're on Team Snow. Did you know that I'm going to be posting my winter weather outlook in the coming weeks? In the coming weeks, he says, as we move into the winter season. You'll be well informed, and it's the only place you're going to see that video is if you're on premium. Oh, there's if you're on Team Snow, if you're a school teacher, are we going to see some snow? You're the first to get my snow forecast. You're the only one to get my winter weather outlook if you join us on premium, just like we did last year. And I was the only one in town that I know of that was going 8 to 12 inches of snow back, 28th, 29th of October. It was before Halloween. And then what did we get? 8.5 inches of snow around MLK Jr. weekend. That was pretty amazing, right? Most people were like 3 to 5, 3 to 6, 4 to 6, 4 to 7. We got 8.5. Some said I got 10, I got 11. And that was just months ago. That was back in January. So if you want to be in the know, if you want to know what I'm thinking, join us on premium. It's only $4.99 a month. It's 16 cents a day. You're the first to see every forecast. That's a real bonus. You get more Facebook Lives, typically on a Sunday. That's another benefit. So you can help you plan the week ahead, and you get fewer ads. That's a real bonus. All for 16 cents a day. That's $4.99 a month. What a deal. The best bargain for East Tennessee weather. If you're a weather person, if you like weather, you got to join us. Try us out, and you can cancel at any time. But I love it. It's a great service. And, of course, my premium members, some of them have been with me now for almost 2 years because we've been doing it now for 2 full years for premium. Well, my name is David Aldridge. Some people call me Captain Accurate. It's not easy being accurate, so weather doesn't surprise you. We'll see you here next time. Take care.